Guy Ritchie is back again with another film this year in 2023. This time he's directed Guy Ritchie's The Covenant. He did another film this year called Operation Fortune Ruse de Guerre, and I absolutely did not like that film. So what did I think about this film? Well, stick around and find out. During the war in Afghanistan, a local interpreter risked his own life to carry an injured sergeant across miles of grueling terrain. The film stars Jake Gyllenhaal, Dar Salim, Sean Sagar, Jason Wong, and Emily Beecham, and many others, and was directed by Guy Ritchie, and he's done the Sherlock Holmes films, Aladdin, Operation Ruse de Guerre, and Wrath of Man. The Covenant actually was not on my radar to actually check out, but after watching a few different reviews on YouTube, a lot of people were really liking this film, so I decided to give it a try, and actually I really did like this film. So you have the army in Afghanistan, and what happens is they're doing a routine check from a vehicle, and there's a bomb, and it blows up the interpreter that the U.S. is using. And so our sergeant, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, he meets this guy Ahmed, and he becomes his new interpreter. And so he has some actual visuals into the Taliban, because those are our enemies at the time. A lot of the things that happen in here, you have people getting ambushed, and you have a lot of shootouts, a lot of the war things that you would see in a movie. Now, I don't really think it does anything really different in terms of war and shootouts and such like that, but I do think that the war action in this film is actually done pretty well. Now, I learned after watching this film that apparently this film was not shot in the Middle East. It was actually shot in Spain, apparently, so that was very interesting if that is true. And I would have never known that, because they did a really good job of actually painting that picture of being in the desert with nothing really being around. And the fact that we are out in Afghanistan at this time, it really does show that when we're out there, there are a lot of interpreters that we're using. The film really focuses based on these interpreters that are really helping the U.S. really get around out there in Afghanistan. The first part of this film is really much so showing Afghanistan and showing a actual rescue that happens. The second half of the film, it really shows the downfalls of Jake Gyllenhaal's character and what he's trying to do, and the way that he is at home, and also what he is trying to do in terms of what happened to him in the first half of the film. And I really did like how they broke that up. Now, the film, it has a pretty good, decent amount of action. There are parts in the film where it does slow down. I don't think it ever really gets boring. I think for the most part, it's very interesting. One of the cool scenes that I really did like involves some helicopters and some airplanes towards, I would say, about 3/4 of the film. Those actual scenes are really cool in the film. I found the action overall to be really good. The shootouts, I found that they were very tense, and it really felt like you were actually there. You see the bullets actually flying. You'll see the bullets actually fly out of the gun, and you see some slow-mo, but they don't really overdo the slow-mo. And I think that it's an actual compelling story, much so, very much over the fact that when I watched Operation Fortune earlier this year, I really didn't like the story at all on that. And this one, I think, is a better story. I think it's a better shot film. And I think overall it's better in the developing of characters. The only negative that I would say is we don't get a lot of moments with Jake Gyllenhaal's family. We get a few brief moments. And I would say also it really just focuses on Jake Gyllenhaal's character and this guy Ahmed. They don't really focus on any of the other characters. They're just kind of there for the background. It does make the film feel very compelling and very interesting throughout. As far as negatives for this film, the only thing that I can really say is the fact that I do wish we got more development, obviously, with the family, and then also it's a war film, so there's only so much you can really do, but I think that it does try to make it a unique story and a film that you're really going to enjoy and at least can get behind. Now, I don't know if this film has a lot of truth behind it. I would imagine that it does. I don't know if the people that are involved in this were actually involved in this in real life, so I can't really confirm if this is an actual true story. My hope, though, is that people will watch this film and see that it does have some emotional moments and some emotional things that can be brought up, especially with the fact of like military and being away from your family, as there are a few emotional moments in the film, and also the fact that we were over there in Afghanistan learning a few things about what goes on over there and what that these soldiers have to actually deal with on a daily basis. So I think that it actually does cover cover that in the film, but it really doesn't cover everything that is really going on. So a little bit of a negative there, but I think overall it's a solid film. It does have some emotional moments, and I enjoyed it for the most part. As far as a score for this film, I would give it a 3.5 out of 5. I may actually pick this one up on Blu-ray. I actually really enjoyed it and really didn't expect to really enjoy it. I'm very picky on war films, so this one was kind of a surprise for me. Let me know in the comments, did you like the film? Did you hate it? Was it just kind of meh? And if you haven't seen this film, let me know in the comments, are you going to check it out? Thank you guys for watching this review as always, and I will see you guys on my next review.